Hey, how you doing? This is Bob from Bob's Garage, and today I'm going to be installing a KTM Supermoto Fender on my 2008 Kawasaki KLR650. So we'll get started. I've already removed the front fender, and it's up on my workbench here. And the reason I'm changing it is somebody did a chop job on the front, and I don't particularly care for it. So what I did first is I removed these 4 washers from the top of the old fender, and then I also removed this retaining piece for the speedometer cable, and I'm going to install that on the new fender. Sorry, the lighting isn't so great in here, but I'm going to have to rivet that up on the fender. And then the other issue is the spacing of the holes. Okay, the distance on this one is 52 millimeters from center to center, and the distance on this guy is 50 millimeters. And as you can see, I've already elongated this hole by about 2 millimeters. Okay, it looks like we have another slight issue here. The spacing between the holes on the KLR fender are 62 millimeters, and the KTM is 60 millimeters. So I'm going to have to open these a little bit up in this direction. I should also mention that there was some nibs on the top of the KTM fender that are not needed, and I just cut them off. And then again, the other issue is installing this guide for the speedometer cable. So I'm going to mount this up here and drill some 1/8 inch holes and use 1/8 rivets to do that, and I'll get some pictures, better pictures of it when it's done. One other thing I should point out is the KTM fender is not as long in the rear as the Kawasaki fender. So you see that the holes, the first hole starts up where the fork tube and the bellows for the fork tube start right at this point, and it ends about maybe halfway down the fender. In this case, I'm going to start it where the fork tube goes in, and it will be almost at the end of the fender, but that should work. I already lined it up on the bike, so I'm going to go ahead and drill that. Okay, I've got the holes drilled, and I should point out that you probably don't want to install this piece until the fender is up on the bike and you have the speedometer cable through there. Otherwise, you're going to have to remove the speedometer cable from the back of the speedo and feed it up through the bracket. So what I'm going to do is fit it up on the bike and then rivet it while it's on the bike. Hopefully I'll have enough room for that. I also want to make a correction. I put the washers up on there from the top because they'll stay on there when I'm putting the fender up on the bike. And then as I said, I've got the rivet ready to go on the front one, and so I can feed the speedometer cable through there I'm leaving the rear loose, and then I'll put the rivets on when I install it on the bike. So I've got the fender installed, and the only thing left to do is put the rivets on for the speedo cable. And you can see here I have my rivets in place on the top and bottom. Cable is going through the bracket, and all you have to do is pop the rivets in and it's done. And there you have the KTM Supermoto Fender on the KLR650.